I think that is his Discord. Actually give some commentary. Chit chat. Yeah, let's add him really quick. Move this over here for a quick moment. See, Discord always gives me a fun time. Add friend. So let's see. Two mutual servers. We can talk on the Manor Lords one. Yeah, our voice is connected. Cool. Now we may have to switch to push the talk on Discord. That's exactly what we'll do. I'll tell him I'm in the old crowd name. Is everything? Pretty much. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna fight against Rome, which means we're probably going to bring a slightly different faction than Sparta. And let's also tell them, so we are in the old crown in China for Manor Lords. So it looks like our...
Hello.
What's up, brother? Looks like we have a rando over here. Oh.
Hello?
Hello.
What's up?
Hey.
How's your morning going?
It's alright. I want to be completely honest. I am about to get stomped. So...
It's for fun. It's for fun.
I may just lose as well, so you'd be surprised.
Okay, well, I've played a lot of Total War games, but this is my first Total War multiplayer battle. So, I'm sure you've got more experience.
If one of you wants to host it and add one spectator slot so I can join.
Absolutely. Just added one. It should be Let's Play, and the password should be, what was it, 5689? Let's see, so we're gonna get Sean Cavalry.
Yeah, 5689.
And one Citizen Cav, as we don't want to really focus on too much cavalry, so we're picking Athens. Let's see what else we can bring.
Can you like move me to the spectator slot? I can't seem to go in it.
Yeah, give me one. Let's wait interesting. Okay, let's try this.
Let's see. I just left the game. I'm gonna try and see if I can join as a spectator.
Okay.
What's the game called again?
Let's play.
I don't see it anymore.
Let me out of space. That's so funny. Hey, these servers are fun.
Wait, we got it. Yeah, room's really dumb. 56. What was the password again?
5689.
Okay. There we go.
We can actually turn off our notifications over here.
You guys want to do a siege battle or a field battle?
I will let him decide.
Let's do a field battle.
Then just do medium funds. Go wild.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're still gonna pick Athens as we really like their units. Thracian warriors. This is gonna be fun. So let's turn on our notifications. Moment. And let's see. Great archers. Bring mercenary hoplites. One swordsman. Let's see, do we have enough for a front? I believe we do. Assault with another hoplite. Let's see if we can focus on his cavalry. Let's bring one more regular hoplite and we'll bring. Let's see, Peltus would be great. Let's see, who can we drop? I really want to bring the big top lights. Situations. Citizen Cap.
Alright, I'm ready.
Just about ready. Let's drop the Thracian warriors and bring one unit of something else. So, skirmish cavalry. Alright, I think I'm ready.
Don't forget you can veteran troops for a little bit of money. Do you have spare money?
Yeah, I'm down to my last 5 septims.
Rocket 60.
Efficient.
Ooh.
Well, good luck.
A thrifty. A
Yeah.
thrifty gamer.
So we're gonna see how we do with this 1v1. Typically don't do land battles, we usually do siege battles. So we're gonna see if we can focus on mobility and really put him at a disadvantage.
Orders.
4 overall.
We await your command. Commander. Royal Thorax Swordsman! Melee troops awaiting orders!
Keep the thorax swordsman off to one side.
Epeius Lancers! Citizen Cavalry!
Let's get our cavalry to this way.
By your command! Archers! General!
This way. We're gonna stack with our general. And we'll see how this goes.
Epeius Lancers!
Definitely gonna have fun. So we brought 2 units of third swordsmen, which will hopefully be able to put up a good fight. We were gonna bring some Thracian warriors, but it just was not enough, so we went with a heavy hoplite front, which will hopefully be able to hold back the Romans long enough. We brought 1 unit of Cretan archers, citizen cavalry. We have skirmisher cavalry and a unit of peltas in the back, followed by our general.
General!
The lancers. So let's
Oh,
go.
sorry, I didn't know it started a timer.
No worries.
Hoplites!
By all the
So,
gods, I trust we have an
Let's
easy
go
fight
see
today,
what they're
mate.
working with. So it looks like they're coming with a pretty traditional Roman army with the velites and such, and the Syrian archers. So we're gonna try. Oh, and even scorpion. So we're gonna try and actually see what he does.
I'm just repositioning, I'm not attacking.
Spears ready! Ready!
Oh, no worries. So we're gonna start pushing up.
March! Your orders! March! Your orders!
So let's just shift
March!
everything up. So we're pretty
Melee
much gonna
cavalry!
bank on our
Yours to
cavalry
command!
Ready and waiting!
Commander!
Understood! By your command!
to hang on to everything onto this battle. So bring this up so you guys can see.
Epeius
exactly what's
Lancers!
going on. So for us, we're going to be able to hopefully take a full frontal assault.
Ready for orders! Advance at speed!
So what we're going to try and do is get close to opening fire.
Citizen cavalry! Follow me!
Your orders! Orders understood!
Orders!
What we're going to do is we're
Right
gonna
out.
force him to engage our
Archers!
archers with the scorpion.
Yes, Commander!
And we will be pushed up via our cavalry,
Hoplites ready!
our line. So we're going to shift up
Marching
slightly.
Citizen cavalry! Riders forward!
Peltasts! Orders
Citizen
understood!
cavalry!
Ready for orders!
Outpost.
Ready!
Understood! By your command! General! As you command! At the
let's get
double!
these guys over here.
Missile infantry! Double time!
So what we'll end up doing is trying to focus this first line down. So what do we have? We have war dogs right there.
Archers! Hoplites!
So let's rush up our line and
Double
then
time!
just go find
Advance at
the
speed! Commander!
Quite a scary army you got going on there.
thorax swordsman going.
Citizen cavalry!
Likewise.
Quickly now! Your orders?
So we're gonna see if we can shift over.
Understood! We await your command.
Citizen
Yeah.
cavalry!
So we're gonna start pressing.
Epeius
our
Lancers!
flags.
Right out!
And the roads.
Yes, Commander! At your service. Under
Orders.
advance at speed!
Forward.
So if we have to, we'll force an
Prepare
engagement.
lancers.
Hell tasks! Archers!
Then we'll just try and overwhelm
Ready.
him.
Hack for glory.
Order now!
Your orders.
So we'll force a charge. Oh. Didn't mean to all tab out.
Yours to command.
Orders. We will charge.
Cavalry! Missiles
General.
ready!
And let's get our general
Charge. Commander.
and let's start disrupting his entire back
These
line.
Ferrari are really taking their sweet time.
Cavalry. Engage.
Let's get them across.
Very heavy unit,
Prepare
very slow.
lancers. Never surrender. Raise the banners. Charge. Under quickly now.
Ooh, let's get our cavalry out.
General! Hell tasks! Now! Back! Back! Withdraw! Waiting!
Prepare lancers. To our forward. Advance.
Let's get all our cavalry into his front line over here.
Your orders. Attack for glory. Attack. Charge. Follow me.
By your command!
Oh, they're getting demolished.
As you command!
Advance. Forward.
General! Yes!
Advance at speed. Commander. Quickly now.
Let's
By
get
your
this
command.
charge out. We'll focus on this line.
Hoplites.
Hell tasks! Yes, Commander!
Back.
Missile cavalry at your command! Hell tasks! By
I
your
don't know
command!
why they're getting that.
Orders
close.
understood! Hoplites ready! Commander!
So
Now!
pretty much disrupted
Missile
a
infantry
huge
ready.
amount of his line.
At speed! Orders! Under advance!
Let's charge this over here.
General!
General back
By
here.
your command! Royal Thorax!
Your orders.
We'll start forming up.
Follow me.
We await your command. Ready for orders!
Disrupting him.
Fire! Fire! Fire on the enemy! Take fire! Spear infantry ready! Hell tasks! Ready! Yes, riders! Advance!
See if we can squeeze in a charge
We
there.
await your command! Double time! Ready! Yes, Commander! As you command! Loose! Archers! Fire on the enemy!
Fuck.
Yours to command!
So see.
Citizen cavalry. As you command. Orders. Advance.
Ready and waiting!
Forward. Charge.
Ready! On me! Not the double!
These guys over here.
Ready and waiting. Orders
Get them out.
understood.
Your orders? I for glory!
Your orders. Advance. As you command. Engage. By your forward.
Orders!
Oh, that's true.
Double
That's
time!
true.
Spear infantry at your command. Hoplites.
Not the double!
Ballet cavalry ready. Engage.
Let's get this cavalry over here.
General!
Get a general.
Riders advance.
Royal Thorax swordsman!
Move double time.
Melee infantry at your command! Spearmen at ready! Engage!
Citizen cavalry.
General! My
Riders.
Royal Thorax swordsman! Melee infantry
Exactly, everything is holding.
Commander! Yes, at speed! Hoplites, ready! Royal Thorax Swordsman! Hoplites!
Ship this.
Advance at speed! At speed!
Let's get these guys going. We're doing well.
Engage! Hoplites, ready! As you command! Advance! To the banners! Charge! For glory!
Let's get them in.
Riders advance! For glory! Ready for orders! Hoplites, ready! For glory! Prepares lancers! General! Under the ready and waiting! Engage! Hoplites! Engage! Engage! Strengthener! Advance! Advance! Commander! As charge! To forward! Yours to command! Forward! Hoplites! Ready!
Let's get them going.
Speed! Ready! Yes,
Ready.
Swords! Your orders! Orders understood! Commander! Ready and waiting! Recharge! Forward! Ready and waiting! To our charge! Engage!
Going.
Your hoplites are really holding for a long fucking time.
Yes, they do.
Allied troops awaiting orders!
So we're just rolling his line over here. We're getting another charge of his
Royal
strike.
Thorax! Ready and waiting! Double
Let's
time!
get him here.
Heavy horse at your command! Prepares lancers! Royal Thorax Swordsman! Commander! Ready!
Let's charge in the back.
Break off! Hoplites ready! Swords!
We're gonna get that peel up throw.
Double time! Come advance! Ready!
We're gonna expand that line.
Orders!
Same thing. We're gonna put this here.
Commander!
Gonna get this
Advance
over
at speed!
here.
Ready!
Shift
Hoplites!
these to
Full phalanx!
phalanx.
And for glory! Ready!
We're gonna get these guys in the back.
Quick march! Engage! Hoplites ready! Under
We're gonna turn these guys over here.
Any infantry at your command! Forward!
Let's get them
Swords!
in.
And advance! Ready and waiting! At speed! Your orders! Forward!
Let's get our general.
Yes, command! Your orders! Melee infantry ready! Forward! Commander!
Let's do one guy over here. These guys here.
Orders!
Yeah, I think this one's decided.
Quickly now! By your command! Hoplites!
Let's go over here.
Orders! For
So
glory!
pretty much we're able to do exactly what I wanted to do, which was envelop him and disable his mobility.
Allied troops awaiting orders! Hoplites ready! Missiles awaiting targets!
Damn it, archers still have ammo.
Yeah, they were kind of left alone a little bit. I think you charged them a few times, but
Ready for orders!
You're a menace with that cavalry.
yeah, honestly.
It's trying to be.
Missile infantry, your orders! Royal Thorax Swordsman! Spear infantry at your command!
Let's get them over here.
Your orders! Charge! Archers!
Cavalry doing their thing.
Your orders! Double time! Commander!
Have both generals died?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think at this
Ready
point.
for orders! To advance!
So getting everything into this.
Hoplites! Advance at speed! Spearman is ready! Hoplites ready!
Let's get them closer.
Advance at speed!
the final brawl.
Orders. Understand glory.
Let's get these hoplites across.
Say what you will about Roman artillery, but they did give it their best shot.
They definitely tried.
Why didn't you pick the Scorpions back up instead of charging the crew into battle?
That would have been better, definitely, but I think his general was still alive at that point. He just died.
I see.
Let's get pursuit.
Royal Thorax Swordsman! Hoplites, ready!
By your command, forward!
Let's get them stuck in. Looks like they're breaking.
Engage! Orders. At speed!
Let's get behind them.
Double time!
Spear infantry at your command!
Swords!
I mean, I definitely got my money's worth with these Syrian archers.
Oh, you did.
Hoplites! At speed!
Let's keep them going.
At your service. Understood.
Allied troops awaiting
I did not
orders.
see that coming.
Hoplites!
That's...
Wow, they actually broke?
They broke! I did not see that coming.
We await your command.
Alright, hoplites, it's up to you.
Defensive positions. Double time. Follow me.
Exhausted, very tired.
They died today!
Quick march.
My honor is my oath to serve.
Let's see.
They still have ammo?
Yeah, they have a lot of ammo, the archers.
At the double. At speed. Break charge.
Let's commit.
Form phalanx now.
Let's go. Does not look good. And they broke.
That
That was a close game.
was a
That was.
very close game. When I said this is decided, I really 100% thought you were going to win.
Look at those cavalry kills,
Yeah.
Jesus
especially in the
Christ.
general. 318.
318?
That was my focus, to just keep him.
Jeez. And I mean, those hoplites really stuck around forever. On your right flank, that hoplite unit was like outnumbered by 3 or 4 to 1, and they just would not break.
Oh, I just needed them to hold. That was a wild match. Definitely wild.
Well played.
Very well played.
Yeah, good game. You guys were the only ones who actually registered, so congratulations, you're the winner.
Thank you. Oh,
If
Cheers.
yeah.
you guys want to play more games, I'll continue to watch. You can do best 2 out of 3. You can do a siege defense and a siege attack.
Yeah, you want to do 2 out of 3? I have time for that.
I definitely have time for that. Can do
I would
siege.
say King Leonidas, you defend. Since you're 1 game down.
I'm fine with that.
Cool. Preference on city.
Does not matter.
Yeah.
Do medium Carthage. Medium Carthage.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we're gonna pick our Spartans.
I actually don't know much of the roster.
We're gonna go with 2 Cretan archers. Royal Spartans.
Elephants. Just an entire army of
Imperial
elephants.
Spart.
I mean, yeah, unlimited cav, right?
And we're gonna have cavalry.
But do you have the money for that?
I have the money for maybe 2.
That's a start, yeah.
It is unlimited elephants.
See, we could do Pierre.
Unlimited.
Let's bring 1 unit of pikes.
But no, Carthage had a decent
These.
selection of spear troops as well as sword troops.
And we'll
Actually,
take
it is sword. The Iberians.
1 unit of Imperial hoplite.
Yeah. The Iberian mercenaries are...
And the Balearic slingers that got paid in women. True story.
Definitely believe it.
Sounds like a good deal. You know what you're going to spend your money on? Women and drink, you know?
I mean, you live on 3 tiny
Oh, that's
islands your
complicated.
entire life. You know, you kind of learn everyone in a couple of weeks, really.
Yeah, quite. Need to expand the gene pool a little bit, you know?
So I'm pretty much ready. I'm gonna try and go with this ally force,
Admirals.
1 citizen cavalry, and just really stick in with our general. Go with 3 foot units, 1 pike, and 3 skirmishers. And I think I should have a very good battle when it comes to this one. Last battle was very close, but Rome is a beast. So we'll see what happens. Having a great time. It's so fun. Yeah, that last battle was insane.
Yeah.
Super close, yeah.
I'm sure you had my mindset in mind. Create as much chaos as possible.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have spent the money on those war dogs because I didn't get to use them.
I was hoping you did it.
They broke, and then while they were breaking, ran into Leonidas's archers and
Ooh.
killed them all. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, because
Alright, lucky break. I wasn't paying attention.
I completely ignored my archers because I'm like, alright, they're safe behind my line.
No, I guess dogs don't rout, I guess.
No, they end up finding whatever units I think are nearby. It's quite
Yeah, I think they have similar mechanics to elephants, where when they rout, they get angrier.
Seems about right. And I knew you were slightly panicky when I was able to get that charge on the war dogs in the back too.
Yeah, man. I was just trying to get everyone inside the lines. Man. Yeah, that was really well played. I completely expected an L there. I think the Roman bias won me that game.
Yeah. Yeah, but Triari are also very good units. Aside from the Eagle cohorts and all that, they just stick in there.
Well, you can expect nothing less from the veterans.
True. How's everyone else doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm super sick.
Hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm struggling.
Yeah, my friend's boss came into work with COVID.
So we're gonna do
Awkward.
Carthage.
And they took a test when they walked in the door and tested positive.
So we're gonna keep our pikes basically for last.
Yes, you had the test before. You know, just me, maybe.
We'll see
Some
what
people
he ends
just
up
don't care.
running as an army.
Well, I've had COVID recently,
Fire,
and you know what? It wasn't so bad, but then that's just the recent one, isn't it? So,
Wait, is that a Scotsman?
fucking A.
Pike infantry
Fucking
ready.
hell. Alright.
Aye.
I
West
felt,
Coast.
I felt a bit isolated there when I joined. I was like, oh shit.
I can tell you're West Coast as well, man.
Aye.
Whoop whoop. Well,
It-
I'm actually to the East Coast, but
These
whatever.
guys over here.
It wouldn't let me buy any siege towers. Is that normal?
Oh, there's
You're
a
fucked,
different
man.
menu
You're so
where it's
fucked.
Yeah, there's a separate
deployables.
menu for siege.
No,
equipment.
I went to the separate menu. It said deployables allowed 0.
Huh?
I don't know.
Really?
That's
Wait, what game is this? Total War, what one is it?
number
Rome
one.
Rome
2.
2.
Oh right, I was
Maybe-
like, I've actually started playing Rome 2 literally 2 days ago. I started a new save for the first time in like a year.
I
Wow.
think
That's so
Rome
weird.
2 gets shit on a lot, but it's not that
Well,
bad.
you know
It's a
what,
little bit
right?
unbalanced, but
Have you tried
I
the
like
DEI?
it.
Have you tried the DEI mod?
DI is great.
That's what I use, yeah.
The worst.
DEI literally
worst
changed
ones-
the game for me. I
Yeah,
never
me
played
too.
anything else except for that now.
No, the worst one ever is fucking Troy. That is the worst Total War game I've ever played.
I heard that, which is why, I mean, why do you think they were giving it away for free, man? Because it was a piece of shit.
Troy, Troy's
Oh,
not
that's
that
a bit shit.
bad.
I'm like, I'm out.
Three Kingdoms is worse than Troy, I think.
Three
It's
Kingdoms
so
is okay,
buggy.
man.
No, but it's
Yeah.
buggy. It's too buggy.
Do you want me to
Speaking of
rehost
the fucking
for
bug.
the towers?
Yeah, try.
More happy.
I mean, I might be able to break one hole on the wall with these giant ballistas.
Yeah, but you're at a kind of a big disadvantage.
Or is he?
Wow, that was some battle, guys.
Yeah, good game.
It should be under the equipment tab. for
Okay.
you.
No, I see it now. It's 5 available.
That's
It just
it's-
wouldn't let me before.
this
Weird.
game's weird sometimes.
If everybody else in here has this game installed, we can do like a giant game.
Yo,
Sick.
let's go.
No mods though, just to make it
Vanilla.
simple and less buggy.
Uh,
Yeah, sorry, but we're not doing a campaign or anything, so
At least with the mods, it's easy. It's one button to click off.
it's true. But I think with more people, it gets unstable.
Oh, I would imagine.
Oh, this game is crazy unstable.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like the medieval 12-12 mod. You can do like the multiplayer campaign. It does
Yeah.
one turn and then stops working. And it's like
Exactly.
okay. You get what you pay for, you know.
No stability.
No,
You know what?
well,
You know what's the worst though? Civ 5. Civ 5 is the least fucking stable game I've ever played. Like
which
you'll
it wouldn't be, you know.
Oh,
With
great game.
mods or base game?
base game with
Really? I've
mods.
never
We
had any
never got
problem.
it to work. Me and my friends, we never got it to work. But
Uh-huh.
base game, it would like crash constantly. You'd have to reset the server a whole bunch of times. It's crazy.
Weird.
You've never-
I never had a problem
You've
with
never
it.
played Mountain Blade 2, man. If you get mods for that game, you might as well just fucking uninstall it.
The multiplayer mod for Mountain Blade is pretty cool.
Yeah, Bannerlord
Ready
was
for orders.
pretty bad, but I mean, it is a bit buggy, but it is a mod.
What
in
about,
it.
what about Bannerlord Online?
Yeah, Bannerlord Online. It's pretty cool.
I tried it last month for the first time, and I must have played it for about a week straight. But I don't know. I feel like they're missing like what would be fun about playing it online almost.
Royal Sparta.
I,
No,
it's
thought
it's
the
hard
looter-
to.
fuck.
There was a lot
like-
of looters in it, like to the extent
Yeah.
that it was almost like, you know, ridiculous.
Yeah,
But also
mercenary
at the
samurai
same time, you
warriors.
want a bit of a challenge, you know. So
Other mercenary samurai.
It was basically
warriors.
just when I spoke to like this clan that I joined, it was like the only way is kind of PvP, and that's the only reason why most of us play on this server kind of thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like I don't really like that. Plus, you couldn't. There wasn't any kingdoms yet. I understand it's a process, but there was no kingdoms available or anything. So it's only really yourself and your party, and then clans, and then there was nothing else much to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty bad, and then really.
Once I got over the initial, oh my god, it's online. After that, I was kind of dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun with your friends. That's really the main point.
Oh, like my friends and I have come up with the adage where if you have to defend a game by saying it's fun with friends, it's not good.
Well,
Any game is fun with friends. I could play Fortnite and have fun with friends. Does it make it a good game?
Yeah, well, that's quite true, actually. It's like Red Dead 2. It's fun with friends.
Exactly, exactly.
I
love Red Dead by
But when you
myself.
do it yourself, it's still fun.
Red Dead,
I would say
Red Dead was good.
fun with
Wild.
friends is like a good point, but it does not make a game good.
So let's
Because I enjoy games with friends that I don't enjoy by myself.
Yeah, content makes a game good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friends definitely make
see
free
how this
content.
battle goes.
Yes.
I
I think actually should be
may be able to.
Friends make free content. Doesn't necessarily make it good content, depending on who your friends are.
You gotta keep good friends around.
Fair enough.
Does artillery do friendly fire? I'm not sure if I can shoot with my towers closed.
Right out. See what happens.
Spearmen, ready for
I don't
orders.
know, actually. I've not played 1-2 in a while. Played this shit out of it for a few
By
years.
your command, Royal Spartans. March, ready and waiting. March! Your
Really
orders.
funny, actually. I beat this
Orders,
guy
ready and
who
waiting.
considered himself to be
As
quite
you
good, and I've never
command.
really played that many multiplayer games, and I beat him 2 out of 3, and he got very upset with me and stopped talking to me. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Really?
Jesus.
Oh yeah, really, yeah. I played him at chess. He was like,
Spear infantry,
I don't want to say a
ready.
chess champion. He wasn't like a chess champion, but I beat him at chess twice in a row, and he got very upset with me again. And I was like, mate, like it's a fluke, like come on. Because he was in like California, and I was like here over in the UK. So I was like, mate, like you haven't slept for like 24
Arrow
hours. Probably why
tower
you
is
lost.
starting to open fire.
Some people just get really salty for no
So
reason.
what we're gonna
Yeah.
do?
Spearmen,
It's
at the
bad,
ready.
so-
Just gonna bring
No,
our
he was a
heroes
good
to
winner.
Spartas.
He wasn't too bad when he won. He was quite
Out.
gracious, but
They are trenches.
Well, see, like you guys, like
Fighting.
obviously everyone that's kind of looking at mana lords has like an idea, right, of what they
Close.
find ideally fun
So
about a game.
sally out really
What kind
Yeah.
of what is it like you actually want to see from it?
Spear
Because
infantry,
I'm
at your
looking at it
command.
right now, and like the aspects that I've seen look good.
Engage!
loads of wenches, loads of whores.
Just go engage. Use the tower.
Oh, you want
Not
like
much.
look at like an in-depth 18+ strategy
Well-
where you can see the king fucking the bitches.
Charge!
Loads of days. No, well, if I'm to be serious, just for a second.
That's not allowed.
I actually studied history. I've got a master's degree in history.
Order,
When I look
advance
for a
at
game-
speed!
When I look for a game like Mana Lords, I want something that's historically accurate to a point, but it's still fun, and it looks like that's the kind of game it's going to be reasonably accurate historically. You know, I like the idea of your troops are only as good as the resources that you've got. Whereas we don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
really much in the way of equipment. You know, you've got like fucking peasants with billhooks and no armor.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
I agree. I like that as well.
That's
Yeah.
what I'll do.
I really
That's
hope they do add multiplayer because being able to play with friends is a big thing for
We
me.
await your command.
Even co-op, it doesn't need to be massive multiplayer.
Yeah, no, yeah, just co-op is fine.
That'll ruin it, I think, because it's too big a scale. But as long as it's, well, see, even there, you see watching this battle right now.
Ready and
See
waiting.
just little things, little details. See, like you see the wall crumbling.
Yeah,
I love that shit. So
that's what he says. There's going to be details like that in the game, and that's awesome. And I want to experience that with pals.
Like the randomly sort of generated faces and stuff like that, and they're bringing in the guy from Kingdom Come Deliverance to do the armor and stuff like that, to do the armor work and things like that.
That's really
All
cool.
those little details, I always say the little details make a game. And
Yep.
when you're talking about something like that, for example, you know, if you have an army that's mostly just peasants, but then you have like a retinue that's got some of the best shit you can get, you can see that difference. They look like the professionals, whereas the peasants look like the peasants. You know, that's what you want.
Yeah.
The little details, they look like peasants, they look emaciated.
That isn't necessary.
No, it's not new, but it's
The reason
important.
why I agree with that.
Nice volleys to the side.
is that it's a completely unique take on the genre.
Yeah.
It's city building, base building.
All of it.
But
I love it.
but it's got what you're doing right now.
Missile
with
infantry
the
at your
Total War
command.
franchise.
Who
Fully
bug
unlocked.
tested this fucking game? My turtle is attacking an indestructible wall.
So let's go
Nice.
this way.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
It's just a
See-
completely unique. It's a completely unique take on the genre. Which
Yeah,
is
to follow-
quite attractive.
Absolutely
To
shredded.
follow up what you're saying about that.
Because being a 35-year-old, I'm getting to a stage in my life where
Advance!
I'm watching games that I played when I was a kid, and that bores the living daylights out of me.
So
Well, me and you both, man, because I'll be 35 in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But see, the thing
one
is,
of the... Go on, sorry.
no, I was just going to say, just to follow up what you were saying, the thing that's interesting about it is that you're getting that more now with games like Medieval Dynasty. The game's okay, but I liked what they tried to do. They tried to combine RPG with survival elements.
let's get
Manor
our
Lodge is
cavalry
combining
down
RTS
here.
elements with like city building elements, and that's good. That's what you want. You want to like kind of bring different genres together to create a game that's got like a big scope, but it's not like a mad scope. That's one of the things. Like I know a lot of people that have been waiting for Manor Lords, and they're like, "Oh, it's taking so long." And it's like, yeah, but what you've got to realise is they're doing a lot in the way of detail. They're focusing on a certain amount of detail. When you focus on detail, sometimes it takes time to work out those details, especially when you're bringing different genres together. You know what I mean? Like it takes time to work those things out and to get it right.
Hybrid.
If you do get it right, it'll be excellent.
These guys
That's the point.
That's why I love you guys are actually a bit older than me, so you won't remember this game. Has anyone ever played Stronghold 2 specifically?
I love that game.
Stronghold 2 has like, in my mind and my
Oh, that's tragic.
it's perfect because you have like, if you want to, you can have almost like a long-term city build, quantity-based game, while also having, you know, the RTS war at the same time.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I'll be Stronghold as well, because it's almost like this is kind of like Stronghold on steroids almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's gonna hit. Yeah, it looks as if it's gonna hit me, like personally in the Stronghold 2 kind of era. Because see, Stronghold Warlords, it was pretty piss poor, and now they're bringing out a new one, which is essentially just fucking Age of Empires. And I'm sick of playing games that are clones of Age of Empires.
I heard they refined the time period as well for Manor Lords. They refined it down to like what 14th century Germany basically.
Yes.
Which
Also,
you know I'm cool with personally. Like I thought it was
The Germanic period of like the 14th century is fucking quality.
yeah, it's interesting because like I mean I think when it was a bit too wide open, like they had like fucking like British stuff and like French stuff and all that, and it was a bit kind of like like with like how they were doing it style-wise. And now they sort of refined it down to like Germany, 14th century, and that's good because there's a lot of room there still to do stuff.
Yeah, I mean you can, if you can actually focus on a specific time period where now you know where everything's going towards, rather than just having shit everywhere and nothing's really defined to an actual period, which gets
about detail when you focus on something instead of like a bit of scatter focus on something, focus on certain details. You can make it work. And as well, I saw some of the artwork where they're actually you get like progression as well, like over time between different kinds of units, different kinds of armor, different kinds of weapons. That stuff is accurate. It's like with the DEI model 1 too. Like when I saw some of the stuff they were doing, but I was like, that is more accurate. Like I studied some of that stuff, like the armor and the weaponry.
What does the mod do overall?
Oh, everything, man. It just changes the game, makes it a completely different game. It's got some fly in it, all that kind of shit. It's reasonably historically accurate, I can tell you.
Like population, like your nobles make your best troops, then the middle class, and then the peasants.
Yeah, the class system, the culture system is totally different. I mean, it's mad. It completely changes the game.
Yeah, how generals level up is completely different. It's like
because
you can make everything more unique.
Middle Republic Roman armies were very different from like Imperial era, like Augustan armies, in the sense that a lot of people assume that Roman armies have always kind of been similar. They've always had like Roman troops. But at that time, they would have actually had quite a lot of allies, and the allies would have had different kinds of units. I mean, the Romans in the Middle Republic period actually fought in a fairly Hellenistic kind of style kind of warfare.
Yeah.
And they do that more accurately than with the version of the game. The Romans in the Middle Republic, when it starts, like the beginning of like 4th century BC, they were a lot more Hellenic in the way that they actually operated.
Let's just
They actually fought.
absolutely keep
They
this
were all spear
going.
troops, and then over time they sort of moved towards more sort of like sword troops and shit like that. Because the Romans took ideas from other people, like for example the shield, the scutari was actually like the Spanish Hispanic troops that the Carthaginians used scutari. In fact, they called it scutari. They used certain kinds of shields, and then like the Romans, the gladius was also like a thing that came from Spain as well. And they adapted ideas, and they sort of slowly developed. You can actually see it in the mod. You can see like the development of like one kind of troop and another. And then when you actually get your Roman armies, when you take over a new area, that culture is still dominant in that area for quite a bit of time after you take over. So you can only really recruit troops that are actually of that culture for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get the Roman army that's like Roman, like the core of the army is Roman. Like they've got like the hastati, the principes, the triarii. They've also got the allied troops, which is accurate. That's how that would have been done. There was actually a Roman called Polybius who actually wrote about the Roman army in Greece in the 2nd century BC, and how they actually had allies that would actually be at the end of the marching column, and the allies comprised of people from all over the Italian peninsula. They had all sorts of different kinds of weapons, all sorts of different kinds of armour. Didn't look anything like the main Roman army. And
It's
in the DI
impossible because of the size of their empire, though, isn't it, to actually not have this type of hybrid army?
Yeah, and that's it. It was a hybrid army, pretty much, and that's what you see in the mod. It actually quite accurately reflects how much of a hybrid army it started out as, you know, different kind of troops and stuff like that.
At your service. Cut them down.
Really fucking me.
Anyway,
I just want a hybrid of great economic stuff in terms of like a bit like I always go back to it, but a bit like Stronghold 2 in terms of there's a lot of city management stuff that's really important and just day-to-day running. So that you've got like a campaign or whatever that's long term rather than just it's always the same objective. Because I love diplomacy in games as much as I love war.
I think the big thing for me is
Absolutely shredding your lines.
find it-
Pikes.
We await your command.
Intimidate.
You got to a stage where you find it all.
Back.
And it's like,
Understood. Ready
okay,
and waiting. Your
so
orders.
what
By
now?
your
Like,
command. Commander.
it's just a slugfest after that. You've learned the
Ready
game.
and waiting.
You've literally
And the
done
double. Orders.
all that there is to it, and now it's literally just let's finish the campaign off. You know?
Oh damn!
And you don't learn
General.
anything new. There's no new.
Yes!
I think I can tell the moment my general died. The entire army routed.
That was a very sturdy defense.
Yeah, quite.
I got a little worried for a moment.
I like that.
I think that kind of begs the question for me with Manalords is that everything that I've seen up to now hasn't really been big in scope. Like I've noticed it's all kind of villagey, if that makes sense.
yeah, smaller scale.
And that kind of that does worry me because okay, maybe it's historically correct for the most part because
Would you like
settlement
to attack?
based, but
Yeah,
Uh,
swap sides.
But for like base building and city building, to make that worthwhile, you've got to be able to have that ability to grow
Yeah, I'll defend.
big, you know?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I mean, I saw a little bit, like they have like obviously the map with the different areas and stuff like that. I think it would be good if they kind of essentially stitch regions together. So like once you dominate a region, you can kind of move on to another one and stuff like that.
See, that's
Something
the
like
question. Is that going to be like instanced between areas, or is that just going to be one
Yeah.
map that just
It's-
expands? And if so, like, can your settlement just grow from one territory into another seamlessly,
Or
are you
other settlements
bound
within the same
one
map.
territory?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like instead of like each game right now is just a bit like Total War. Actually, it's like right, you own these 3 different villages, so this one's basically the capital of these villages. But it'd be quite cool if you could organically grow it yourself, quite literally, and create and split them off into 3 different villages.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. that's why it'd be good to have a shot of it to kind of see how that's done. But like, if it was me, I would say to them, listen, you know, like you have like the settlement you start out with, you know, that particular part of the map that you start out with, and you expand and you take over areas. But then you can also have like another area where you can actually recruit like essentially a separate group of people, but you can combine them if you want to combine them into a single fighting force, and you know, like bring them together to battle and that kind of thing. But they're coming from different places. You know, they're like that area is your area. It's not just like the town or the village. It's like the area that you control is your area. You know, and everything within that area comes together, or you can keep them separate or whatever. You know, like I don't know how that would be done exactly.
I must admit though, there is one huge thing that I've noticed within these like dev demonstrations that completely revolutionises, in my mind, the RTS side of things, as well as city building, is the underwater streams. Have you seen that part of the video?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Now the only thing that does worry me is that static, because
it needs to be randomized. I would say
it needs to be organic. Like those underwater streams need to be constant moving, or when you say randomized, there's only it's literally just a texture map, right?
Yeah.
It's basically just a texture map that that dictates whether you're allowed to you know, place a well down or not, right?
Yeah.
That to me is a problem. I don't like that. I kind of like the idea that those underwater streams are constantly shifting and moving, and the reason why is because there's always going to be one place that's going to be strategically better than everywhere else, right? And let's be honest with humans, and humans have a tendency of grinding in games like this, where you will always find the strategically best position on a map to get the best out of your resources, like whatever else, yeah? And to me, I kind of like that idea.
So this will be our third round.
If those underwater streams are completely organic, it forces you into a situation where you can't always have the best place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you need to settle in a valley at some times, you know, and a valley is not a good thing because, well, you're in a valley. You know, you're not on a hill that can oversee, you know, large swathes of territory type stuff, you know.
Yeah, saying that though, there are different sides to it. I mean, I agree. I think like if they did have, you know, underwater streams that moved, you know, that would be interesting. It would keep it interesting. I think what would have to happen is each time you start making a new game, it would always have to be essentially procedurally generated. You know, they were never in the same place and stuff like that. At least that. And you're talking about valleys. I mean, the thing is that yeah, okay, if you're on a hill, it's easier to defend, but at the same time, if you're in a valley, there's only certain places they can come in, which is also easy to defend.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, but I assume you're talking about Manor Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so the terrain, I don't know if you already know this, but the terrain is preset, but all the resources, and I think including the streams, are randomly generated per game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's good because obviously the resources, I mean, you can have one resource in one place, then another important resource in another place.
Exactly.
Dominate that whole area from one place to the next, you know?
What do you mean by randomly generated, though?
So, let's say when you load the map once, the terrain height map will be the same. There'll be a mountain where the mountain is, a hill where the hill is, but
Yeah,
it could be a forest in a different place, or somewhere else, or the stream could be somewhere else.
And that would change it.
Is that
completely
completely random, though, or is that dictated?
It's completely random.
Right, okay. Interesting.
And that would still be interesting, you know, because obviously it always makes it different.
Every time I think about like resource placement and stuff like that, I think of a texture map that is like overlaid on the map that dictates whether, you know, you're allowed to build here or not, you know, in terms of a game development perspective, you know? Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. A forest could spawn here or here or here.
Yeah, so it's basically like, it's like a white and black, like, height map type thing.
Yeah.
You know, white is nothing, but black is where stuff will spawn and whatever, and it's just overlaid in multiple texture maps. So one will be just streams, which will just look like fucking veins. And other ones will just be like, I don't know, gold deposits. And
Okay, so we'll be attacking our own city, which is quite amusing.
whatever else.
Well, you know, it kind of seems, anyway, it seems, I don't know, need somebody else to confirm it, but it seems to me that it looks like they're going to do it in such a way that it's not unbelievable for a certain resource to be in a certain place, you know, I would hope. You know, so like there'll be certain resources, whether it be water, trees, or whatever, that will be in places that you would maybe expect them to be. However random it is, they will always maybe be in places that are not unbelievable for them to be. So like, you know, ore would be in the mountains, you know, for example, or even sometimes just on the surface of an underlying area, or whatever. Places that would be believable, but at the same time always different, you know, spread out.
The other perspective is that, like, the reason why I'm sort of liking this idea that the streams organically move during, you know, the time lapse of your gameplay is the idea that your water wells dry up, and you gotta shift a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
depends about timescale as well, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and not only that, it's the same with population, you know, like it's gonna be a bit stupid if you got a little water well in the middle of a city, you know, and that city just so happens to be reliant on a little tiny well for thousands of population, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't really make sense to me. That's that will kick me out of the immersiveness, you know?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I can specifically think of an example in historical study that I remember. Actually, it was like Carolingian era, so like 9th century Germany, right? And there was like a study somebody did of like this town in the Rhine Valley that actually moved literally about 50 miles from one place to the next over a period of a century. So the centre of the town constantly moved as time went on, and one of the reasons for that was because of water resources as well as other resources that were being used up in the area, and then they would actually push the town steadily down the valley in a different direction. That would be interesting if they had something, not, you know, obviously not exactly like that, but like what you're talking about, essentially like an almost like organic movement of settlement as it goes, because that kind of thing did happen in Europe. That kind of thing did happen over a period of centuries.
Oh
shit!
shit!
Would move, you know. It would move because of resources, and if they had things like that in the game, where you would kind of essentially use up resources in one area, and the centre of a town would actually move over time, so it would actually end up at the end of the game in somewhere pretty different from where it actually started. You know, that would be interesting.
I think the only thing that would annoy me on the flip side is that I've just created myself a village, everything's doing great, and then the well dries up. I gotta shift literally my entire fucking settlement to another part of the map because my water's dried up, and that happens on a regular basis, and it gets annoying.
Well, again, it's about timescale, isn't it? I mean, if it was regular, that would be extremely irritating, but if it was like over the course of an entire playthrough, if it was like a very subtle, gradual move, that wouldn't be so bad, because then obviously you can take the time to then recognise that the water was running out and things like that. You can plan ahead, and then by the time you planned it and actually started putting your plans into motion and actually building another area of the town slightly further away next to it or something like that process is already actually begun. You know, that would be good if it was like an almost organic process that was, you could see that very steadily.
I definitely want it to be a
tortoise.
Slow organic thing that's happening, where it doesn't take away from the city building element of the game. You know, it's almost seen as a challenge, a positive challenge rather than an annoyance, you know?
Yeah, it's a challenge, yeah, exactly. It's a challenge that's acceptable to you, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, like, you know, again, it's about time scales, you know, I mean, it really depends how quickly or how slowly it kind of goes. I mean, that goes for technology development and stuff like that as well, you know what I mean? If developments are steady, but like in a way that isn't annoying, but at the same time not fast. I mean, there has to be the right kind of pacing for a game like that, for it to be not only believable, immersive, but also to not be irritating. You know what I mean?
You can literally make this whole thing an on and off switch, but in terms of whether you want that in your save.
Definitely find out very shortly what
they're.
What do you mean?
Like the whole movement of
Ready for orders.
the stream
Oh,
and stuff like that.
you're saying you would want the choice for it to be static and just randomised, like Jamek said, or you would want it to be organic and
Yeah.
moving. Okay.
Firing.
You could, I'd be straightforward for them to add in. The hard bit's obviously adding in the whole stream, which they've already done, so they can literally make that a thing where it could move or it could not move, so you have the option to choose whether you want that at the start yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mention it in terms of, but when I kind of say a challenge, I don't mean it to be like a hindrance, you know, and you're constantly got to think about it type thing. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want it to be like that because it would take away other aspects of the game. You know what I mean? Like it will always be on your mind in the end that you know, I can't make my settlement big and I can't concentrate because well, at some point the water's going to dry up, so I need to move. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want that necessarily. Like I'd still want to feel like I'm concentrating on other aspects of the game, but it's also just an element there where at some point it's going to happen and I need to just prepare for it.
Is your tower on fire?
It's smoking.
That can't be comfortable for the crew.
Time for a barbecue.
Yeah, jump off, guys. So it's nice meeting everyone. I'll speak to you later. He's
But yeah, that's the thing. It'd be interesting as well. We were talking about, you know, water running out, but it would also be interesting if there was a dimension to it where, in fact, actually certain things would not remain static, but maybe even become more accountable. Water, essentially.
Same with pollution as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of pollution, have you guys played Humankind?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think there is one aspect as well.
Yours to command.
Never seems to bring the games because it's just depth that
At your
never
service.
really goes in, and that's not pollution created by human habitation, like you would have, like in, for example, city skylines, right? But pollution that is actually dictated by mineral deposits. You know, like lead and iron. You know, like I don't know, like I know, Cal, you mentioned that you're a bit of a history buff, so like, I don't know if you studied anything about the British Empire side of things and the brief period they had with lead, like lead-made bathtubs and shit like that. People were getting cancer because of lead.
Ready for orders.
Well, a good example of that is actually when they used to make rum in the Caribbean in like the 17th century, they actually used lead stills, which actually meant that every time you drank some grog in the Royal Navy, you were actually slowly poisoning yourself because they were made from lead stills. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I mean, I would kind of like to have that, where it's like, maybe you're just dumb at the start of the game and you need to get the technology or the knowledge to understand what actual stream deposit you're actually set on. You know what I mean?
So like it'll have some stats, but you don't know it. Like it could be poisoning you, but you won't know till you get the tech.
Exactly, and that plays into your life expectancy, your reflection, you know, like why on earth am I settling, you know, why am I settling, dying in life and stuff like that. But then
you say that,
yeah, and then you kind of think, well, okay, well maybe if I was to change to another water, all of a sudden my settlers are living a longer age, you know what I mean? And then maybe as part of the technology tree, you gain that knowledge about, like, I mean, it wasn't actually back in those times, right? Because
As you command,
until later on. But I don't know, some kind of knowledge that kind of
double time.
gives people the idea or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of knowledge to kind of say, well, actually maybe this
Why? Why?
The
No,
balance.
please. Don't break your pike formation, please. Oh man.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, the thing is that whenever I think about stuff like that for games, you know, like that level of depth, I mean, I mentioned it actually. There was something about it that was almost unknowable until the point at which you had the technological level to know it. But I always think about it not just in terms of like depth, but I think about it in terms of like games. I mean, it would be a thing that would be difficult, I think, in some respects to implement.
Actually, no.
Well, it depends.
It's just a hidden stat. That's what it is. It's like what the other guy just mentioned.
Well, it depends how they've set up stats already.
Like,
It really doesn't.
You look on the map overlay, you can see the rivers, and when you just play like that river, that vein, as you call it, of that river, it literally highlights a bit of statistics, like capacity, in terms of how much water it has, you know, what the flow is maybe, that could dictate pollution.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible to do it. I'm not saying it necessarily be difficult, but I don't know how the game's been kind of put together in terms of how it's been coded and all that kind of stuff. It might be difficult for them to do it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it'd be cool if we could.
And then it literally is a simple thing as just a technology tree that you unlock, and then you're able to actually see that statistic. And that statistic.
I'm so sorry that just happened to you.
And that statistic is tied in I don't know, like I suppose like a debuff type thing on settlers. You know,
It's just a hidden buff or debuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know till you can see it.
Yeah,
But
and again,
like depending on how the game is coded, like you said, that would either be very hard or pretty easy to implement.
Yeah, and hopefully it hasn't been done in such a way that it can be modified in that way. I mean, it would be cool. It'd be a little bit like, you know, if you were making armor, but the armor quality would depend on the ore that we're using or the process that you were using to actually.
I think that is actually in the game.
Yeah, and stuff like that's interesting. So if they've got stuff like that, then it'd be possible to work out other things that would also be buffs and debuffs, you know, as penalties or bonuses in terms of stats and shit like that. Because I think if you've got a thing where like, okay, so like the other guy is making better weapons because they've got basically better processes for making weapons, then essentially you'd be screwed. However, you've got more guys. So there would always be like different ways to offset different problems as well. You know, I mean, stuff like that would be good. But yeah, if you're saying that, I mean, I wasn't really aware of that. I did see something about, you know, how obviously the resources affect
Yeah, the game's pretty in depth with stuff.
This is what I mean about detail. I mean, like I say, it's the little details that make the game good.
Yeah.
Details need time, you know, and that's one of the reasons why it's taking time. It's the detail that they're going into, and you know, I think if it's done well and it's not rushed and at the same time it's not taking forever, a perfect balance, then
there is one other question that's right away, and that's what type of city build are we talking here?
The gods are with us! Libyan infantry!
I think it was about like Foundation almost.
Oh, I love Foundation.
Yeah, no, that's a cool idea. I mean, it's a bit different. I mean, it's like the graphics are a bit simpler and it's been done in almost, it's like a kind of, I don't know, like a watercolor kind of paint kind of way. But I like it because it is organic and because things develop organically. And it kind of reminds me of that. It's like, you know, when they were showing the thing about the Dark Lords. You know, like the thin line. I mean, historically that is accurate, especially in the British Isles.
Melee infantry at the ready!
That's basically how they made all.
Oh wow, you shredded my cavalry.
And if you can essentially drag a box and then it fills in like those narrow blocks and stuff like that, and that is in some way organic because the way it seemed to me was that they would have like the house in the front and then a plot at the back where they would have an industry or some kind. Again, that's
no elephants, no! No! You're going the right way!
Anyway, but yeah, not only that, it's kind of like
the risk.
It's again, it's organic and it kind of it does it in a way that you have control over where stuff is placed initially, but then how that develops after that is anybody's guess, depending on the economy and all sorts of other shit.
Well, at least they rampage through your guys too. Honestly, I'm gonna say that was a pretty decent rampage.
See, that's why you get elephants, by the way.
Yeah, don't get elephants. They'll kill ya.
Hold back! Commander, ready!
But yeah, like I say, I kind of think of the Manor War system as being similar to Foundation in the sense that medieval towns developed organically, that's how they developed. But with Manor Wars, it's not accurate and believable how it develops. Like, there's a plan, but the plan is only the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how it was, and that's how it should be.
Firing.
Fire on the enemy!
You know, like you
Oh
can
my
plan the town
God.
initially. You've got all these plots and you put things in certain places, but over time, depending on how prosperous certain industries are. I like the idea, for example, of the markets, like if you're closer to a market or if you've got more like industries that are more popular, that actually will affect the prosperity of certain parts of the town, not just the town itself, but different parts of the town. So you'll end up having like this really nice affluent centre of the town, people got nice houses, they've got lots of money, and then on the outskirts where the undesirables are, they've got like
Yeah, you get the
awful
slums.
houses. Yeah, the slums, the ghettos is something actually said to me recently, yeah.
There's also an aspect of it where you can actually like click on an individual part and lock them into that
So we're gonna
industry
get our general.
Yeah.
around
At your
that
command.
marketplace, I do believe, right?
Yeah, and that's interesting, because it's not just proximity, it's also industry based as well.
Fire on the enemy!
You know, I think what's kind of cool is the idea that you know, like they were talking.
I should have killed them a long time ago. Oh, those elephants ended the game.
When you develop certain industries later on in a game, you know, in a lot of city building games, your industries are like on the edges of the town because obviously you didn't develop them until later, and you have to knock shit down, put them there, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the humanity.
What's interesting to me was the idea that you don't have to. People develop industries again
quite the
organically within the town, depending on what resources they have available to them and stuff like that.
You got 690 kills. I lost 1,100, almost 1,200. You killed half of the dudes that I lost in that battle. Those elephants did so much friendly damage.
Elephants are a big risk. Any takers for a big game, or
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
down
it?
for that.
I'm totally down.
we'd need one more.
I don't think I'm in the zone for Total War right now.
Even 3v3 babies.
I haven't played Total War in many years.
Oh, well.
Times us. What's
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Good games, you guys.
You want to do one last very large battle?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna get out of here. I have to lay down. I'm not feeling well. But
Good, bro.
congratulations.
Feel better.
Thank you.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you for watching.
Of course. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Peace out.
Let's open this up. Good fights, bro. Good fights.
Yeah, honestly. Man, those elephants, I figured win or lose, it was going to be an interesting game.
Hell yeah,
A blessing and a curse.
Yeah, truly. Is there a mechanic for getting them back under control? Because I figured eventually they would stop rampaging.
Well,
Not-
all I can think of is
not
the
unless
generals
it's
have
a-
usually. Yeah, generals have different abilities, don't they? But I'm not sure if you can wrangle rampaging elephants with the generals. I mean, what's he going to do? Get a lasso it, you know?
Yeah, I guess not. But actually, I think when I killed the elephants, because it destroys the unit, it counted as me killing the general as well. Which is pretty crazy.
Also, sorry for going back onto Manor Wars. I'm just kind of fixated on this game. Like, it's just amazing. But like, is there anything going on about like herds of sheep and like deer and stuff like that, which also is like organic and moves around the terrain that might dictate where you have to set up, like, not necessarily settlements, but maybe your hunters, for example, in order, because you don't want to be, like, sending out hunters, like, halfway across a giant fucking map just to get, like, food, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, is there a way of, like...
Do you want to attack or defend?
Oh, whichever.
No, sorry. No, I'm enjoying the conversation. Don't worry about, like...
I understand you guys are playing. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, please.
Because I'm just thinking, because I think I saw a video where the developers changed it from an organic feel to the fact that when you obtain sheep and cows and whatever else, that it just becomes randomly generated. It spawns or something in a cattle pen or something. Whereas for me, I kind of feel like that loses the immersiveness, where it just spawns out of a building type thing.
Yes, you're a man in search of atmosphere, and I like that.
Yeah. Like when I'm looking, if I'm like a fucking eagle in the sky and I'm looking down on a settlement, I want to be able to look in every individual plot and understand that, oh, that person has 2 chickens. That person has 5 goats, and you can see them because they're there in the pens.
Should be our last fight.
Right? And it's not that, oh, that actual like settler has 1 goat, really, but then when you click on that actual residential plot, they actually have 5 goats, but you don't see the 5 goats. You only see
so in other words, what you see isn't actually representative of what they have.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, from what it sounded like, from what I know myself, it sounded like there would be resources that people would have on their plots. I mean, like they have plots in the back of the house and stuff like that. As far as whether or not it actually represents what they've got, I don't know, to be honest. It would be good if it did, and really it should. Because people are self-sufficient to some extent.
How do you obtain them as well? Like, I wouldn't want... It's very old-fashioned in these city builder games for me now, where you just go into a market and you just go, I want 2 chickens. You buy 2 chickens, and all of a sudden you've got 2 chickens. Well, for me, I would rather, like...
It's full immersion.
See it more of a process. You've got to try and find, like, a merchant that has chickens to begin with, that you can actually
they spent a little bit too much on their own.
If that makes sense.
Well, you had that in Banished a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you would have to get the seeds to grow certain crops and stuff like that.
Yeah, but also like what I was saying with hunting and stuff like that, like, I would like the ability for you to go hunting and choose to be able to catch, you know, a goat or a particular sheep or something, and make it your own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so essentially the process of hunting is also to domesticate certain kinds of animals that are available in the wild. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't myself, but the thing is, I was kind of hoping the same thing. That the getting of certain kinds of resources, like animals and crops and stuff like that, would be a thing that was not automatic. It doesn't just happen, but it has to be like you have to pursue that avenue of investigation to get sheep. You have to kind of like look into where you're going to get the crops and stuff like that. Manage those crops, because apparently they, with regards to farming anyway, agriculture and stuff like that, they did actually. There was a whole thing about how a lot of it's automated, but you can still manage certain aspects of it, like, you know, the crops and crop rotation and things like that, which was interesting.
It says I have 25 left.
Interesting.
That ties into climate as well, right? So that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
How that would...
Always.
Yeah, if you had a bad season.
Yeah, I saved the setup.
Okay.
Yeah, let's relaunch or something.
Here, let me just do custom.
Sure. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Sometimes it's wonky.
I mean, it's on this kind of wavelength of conversation as well here, because I've kind of, I mean, like I kind of mentioned earlier, you know, in my age now, I look at games and they're just copy clone edits of just previous games, and I'm really starting to struggle with seeing game developers that are just clones of other game developers that have done exactly the fucking same thing, but the only difference is
Doing the
better
same thing.
graphics. You know, like I want to play games that are just unique and different, but not only that, has the depth
Come on.
to where it would literally take me a long time to go, oh shit, I got this wrong the entire time because of this dynamic in the game that I didn't even know even existed, right? But then I sort of think, holy shit, that's logic, that's real life. You know, of course that would happen. You know, rather than it being like a Total War game. You know what to accept. You know what to expect in a Total War game, because you know after a few hours of playing that game, you pretty much know how to play
Now
the
we're
game.
gonna start up,
You know
I
what
think.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. You want
that
something that's
bores
dynamic.
me. Yeah, that bores the hell out of me, games
Well,
like
it's
that.
just ready up.
I've actually got into a situation
Hopefully
where,
we can hold them
especially
off.
with Total War games, I don't think I've ever finished a campaign just because I've just got bored of it. Because it's just a copy paste, rinse and repeat situation. You know what I mean?
Kinda true.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is why I was talking about like the DEI mod for Rune 2 as well, because like you're talking about things being dynamic. To some extent, from what I understand, I have a bit of experience with like game design and
So we're just gonna have straight
Yeah,
fun.
And
that's
from what I
why
understand
I've got
about
a
it-
degree in game development as well. So
well, there you
Okay,
go.
so a
Um,
little far with
From
that
what I
now,
understand
but-
about it is that there are certain things that are difficult to make dynamic, for all sorts of reasons, but not necessarily everything. And
yeah,
with
it's all coding
Yeah.
side of things, and I
Ready for
noticed in
orders.
this day and age, in terms of the game
So
industry,
we're just gonna try and rush
program
across
isn't
Operatives,
seen
ready.
as
what,
priority.
5
Spears
units of
ready.
hoplites.
That's why real-time strategy
Followed by
games
2.
in general, and I don't mean Total War
We
games,
await
I
your
mean
command.
proper real-time strategy games,
There
like
we
Supreme
go.
Command,
Prepare
for
lancers.
example. You know,
Heavy
games
force
like that
central
is a
command.
dying breed. You don't see many of them about, and it's also
Pikes at the
why
ready.
you see a lot of FPSs,
Love Supreme
because the
Commander.
Unreal Engine, basically, you can
Let's
basically
hop
build an
into
FPS
this.
in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just the graphics side and minor little ability type things that kind of sets an FPS apart from another FPS.
Yeah.
But
because the program is the
Forward,
essential, like the
swordsman!
logical basis for a lot of things, complicated things.
it died
Pike
with
infantry
Steam.
at your command.
It died with Steam. It died halfway through the 360 era. And the whole reason with Steam is the early access.
General.
Because game
This here.
game developers used to employ alpha testers, and they used to have like just a department that is just testers.
I mean, that would be
Yeah.
nice to bridge the whole.
Yeah.
And then and that's why if you are my age and you look at
Operatives ready.
older games, they were polished and finished games. You know, like bugs and stuff like that was very rare because they were heavily tested.
Definitely
before
there.
they got released. And it's like the situation we're in right now, which is the complete opposite. Like, you got game developers that don't employ
All that remains
testers,
then is to
and they
listen to
rely on
your
the
orders
public. And
and
there's also a
obey.
big
Closer.
problem with that, is that that's why all games now are early access.
Missile
And
infantry.
it's a big gamble on whether that
Ready
game
and
will
waiting.
become a finished product because of the fact that you're relying on the public
Understood.
to
By your
submit
command.
bugs, you know.
It's funny you say that,
Stop.
actually. There was a bit of a discussion in the lounge, and they're talking about mechanics for citizens and stuff like that. And then basically how difficult it would be. There's no dynasty
Stop
mechanics,
him.
shit like that. But somebody's
So
like,
it's
oh yeah,
more
you know,
stuff.
you have extremely powerful mod tools. And again, it's kind of what you're talking about, where there's a possibility of certain things that aren't in the game being left up to, as you say, members of the public to kind of sort out with mods and whatnot. And that could be an issue. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Especially if you're kind of essentially patching
Take it
something
out.
to something else.
Got
Try and
that
create
guy.
Mark your targets when they come.
an aspect of the game that isn't there.
Flammable.
You know, I mean, it can cause all sorts of problems. I mean, the
Right
thing
in the
is,
center.
Deadly missiles ready!
again, when you're going for details, you've got to have that balance between
Oh shit!
Shredding.
the details and how well those details are done.
Well,
Oh yeah, we're
at the
coming
end
for
of
it.
At the end of the day, it's a game. It has to be enjoyable. At the end of the day.
Move it!
You know what I mean? You can't
Spear
have,
infantry
you
at
can't
your
pile
command.
in logic over logic
Phalanx
over logic.
ready!
Make something as realistic as possible.
Double
And
barriers
when playing
ready!
it's the most boringest fucking experience ever because you're just being bombarded by logic all the time, which is just the amount of detail that takes away from the fun. It still has to be fun because at the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah.
You know. But there's all that ties into
shredding
how
them.
good you are as a developer at that point, though, to develop a system that balances the
That was a gnarly hit.
that detail,
Yeah.
having that depth,
Let's get our
but also
lances
making
going.
it fun, but also making it feel like it makes sense and not,
Hoplites!
you know,
Double
looking
ready!
at this in.
Advance at speed!
It's like what you were saying with like
Let's get our
being
archers even
into
closer.
history. It doesn't make sense
General!
having
Orders understood!
armor sets from a later period.
Hoplites, ready!
You know, on a
Spearmen at the ready!
settlement timeline.
Let's see
You
if
know
we
what I
can get
mean?
this line.
Like, it's
switched.
like, well,
Oh,
hang on a minute, that don't make sense because the armor didn't exist back then.
Yeah, you've
Those
got to
were
find
there.
that
Enemy artillery
balance.
awaiting orders!
You've got to find that balance between
Fire
what is
on the enemy!
believable and what's fun. You know, and that's the thing. The basis needs to be put down in such a way where it's
Forward!
there's things that can happen that are maybe not historically entirely the case, but are not unbelievable at the
Yours to
same time.
command!
You know, so like for example, you can be fighting people that have better armor, better weapons than you, but it's not unbelievable for that to be the case, especially if you don't have the resources to make certain kinds of arms and armor. It's believable, but at the same time it's kind of fun because it kind of mixes it up a little bit, and it's kind of a challenge to try and develop resources and industries that can actually be the basis for what you're doing. You know, you've got all those kind of dynamics to it. And those things are interesting to me. The balance between what is believable and real and what is fun.
Advance at speed!
And yeah, and in some games you get things that are not necessarily entirely believable, but they're kind of fun, they're kind of interesting because they're different and they're a surprise. You know, and it doesn't take anything away from it because for me, I think with games like this, similar games, it's like, you know, Elite Wars, you know, believable, realistic and accurate, and then Elite Wars are fun and a bit quirky and a bit kind of like, you know, because you always have that dimension to it. It's what makes the realism and the accuracy interesting. That there's things that you don't expect to happen, or things that like you see trying to out a game and there's a thing that happens that you didn't know about. You know, and you find it at the end, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, so I need to do that. You know,
Yeah.
it makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Manalords is doing with its population, where it's all just a city builder, base building mechanic, and then,
Hello.
and then,
We
and
await
then,
your
and
command.
then all of a
What's
sudden,
up?
you know, you've got like a conflict erupting, and you've got to formulate an army. But that army just doesn't just go da-da, you know, it doesn't just pop out of a
Yeah,
building,
you have to
or
have the
you
population
recruit.
basis for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you literally, you can select, you know, all your settlers and pick and choose. And, I don't even know if that is even a thing, but like you have some sort of control
ready for
and you
orders.
actually see that your population actually will stop doing their daily life and actually,
We await
you know,
your
becomes
command!
part of the army.
Your orders!
Yeah, if you lose guys, then you're actually losing the
You're
population.
losing your industry and stuff like that. Yeah.
Quickly now!
Yeah, I mean there are other games that are actually simple that actually do that sort of thing.
Those dogs are really coming after you.
Ready for orders!
There's
Oh, I
actually
know.
a very simple game called Rising Lords.
I'm coming for that line though.
And Rising Lords is interesting because again it's quite simple. It's done on a very simple map. The art style is in the style of like Western European medieval manuscripts,
Ready!
French manuscripts. But basically they're like pieces that you move around. Essentially, it's almost a little bit of a core game in the sense that you've got like different regions.
Orders understood.
And you basically put counters, pieces, into different resource areas to get them to connect.
Get those ballista back working, Jesus Christ.
But in order to make an army, you have to take the population counters and then turn them essentially into troops. And then you send them out in the army, but your army consists of the population directly. It's not separate from the population, it's actually part of the population. So if you raise an army of 1,000 peasants, and say each counter is 250 men, that's 4 counters. So if you've only got 8, then that's half your population in an army already. And that's a simple version, I think, of what they're kind of doing with this, in the sense that, you know, you have people from all over, you know, your settlement that are being collected together. You know,
I did not pay attention to what the Numidians were doing.
from all sorts of areas. And that's obviously sort of draining the population, draining the resources, draining the industries. So whenever you do go to war, you kind of need to be very careful to have essentially a surplus of population that you can equip on the fly. You know, so it might end up being actually the thing that would be good to. This is what I think about when I think about it. What actually might be quite good is if you have a town and you have quite an affluent population that consists of the majority of, say, 2/3, but then there's a third of the population that are actually poor people who don't really have much of things. And those are the people you send to war, which again is not entirely inaccurate, but also at the same time it kind of makes it interesting, because then essentially you've got a surplus of population of people who don't really have a lot, and those are the people that you usually make up the bulk of your army, which was true of medieval Europe. A lot of the bulk of armies were made up of these people.
There is a very interesting
Ready and waiting.
You're
Are you command?
going to have to open your mind.
Generally.
Thinking. So,
We're gonna go across the river.
would you rather have as a type of god game of city building the ability to select
pull these
every
guys back.
individual settler to
Spearmen
be
ready for
able
orders.
to pick and choose whether they are assigned to
Even though they'll be able
as and when
to get
conflict
across,
arises?
they'll be
Or
absolutely exhausted.
Would you rather have a system
Spears ready.
that
Orders understood.
you don't really have that control, and it's almost automatic, where when a conflict arises,
We can get our cavalry
your
across.
settlers,
No, don't go for the pikemen, Jesus Christ.
Your settlers formulate
Yes!
and then you kind of realise, oh fuck, okay, that was actually a part of the population I didn't want, you know, like in the
Pike infantry ready.
research reasons or whatever, right?
As you command.
But then,
Orders
Oh
understood.
yeah, oh yeah.
it's like to bonus that off a little bit, like what you were saying.
We await your command.
Okay, you do have that control
Operatives!
of picking and choosing what you have inside that army of what armor each individual can have.
Rather
But
than
it's, but it's almost like you can't have
Spears
the
ready.
ultimate,
Pikes ready.
you know, the ultimate choice
Ready and
Going.
waiting.
that gets
Ready
prescribed
and
into
waiting. Ready.
Because I think
Your orders.
both ideas
Guys back.
have interesting
Spearmen commander orders.
concepts to them and different
Warriors
challenges.
understood.
Like, because on one hand you've got like
get our cavalry
the
across.
micromanagement aspect, which is almost a niche for a lot of people, because a lot of people can find that kind of annoying. You know, like games like that, right? Like there is a select bunch of city builder gamers out there that don't like that.
Oh, that was so...
Two is too micromanagement based on
Gonna get cavalry
individuals.
across.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, would you rather have just again that just automatically
My general, stop them from breaking.
You just gotta react.
Damn!
It's an interesting and deep thing in a lot of ways, because you know, it's funny. In a game, I don't mind depth if you feel that, you know, like micromanagement. I don't mind that if you feel that it's worthwhile doing it. What I hate in a game is if you try to micromanage a thing, but it's really just an endless task and it doesn't really get you anywhere. I don't like that.
Plus
At the
you
same
got
time,
lifespans and life expectancies.
Yeah.
Those people are gonna die.
So you think that
Because-
they're gonna be able
have
to
to
get through?
do that again.
Banish is an interesting example because with that micromanagement, you feel that makes a difference.
Where are you going with those guys? Where are you
Allocating
going with those
certain-
guys?
certain places where they need to be. You know, it's kind of important for you to do it. It actually has like a purpose. You know, if you take somebody out from hunting because you know when the spring's coming around, you want to allocate those people to farming. There's a purpose to that. You know, it makes sense to do that. It makes sense to then allocate to those things. I think, however, with a game like Manor Lords, I think what I would prefer is a system that's a lot more like it was in reality, where essentially the people that are being put into your army are people who have the capability. So, for example, if your average town, you would have a certain section of the population
Stop attacking the Pikes!
reasonably wealthy, reasonably affluent. Those people would be, in general, less likely. So essentially, you would have like a percentage, like a fluid percentage of people from different groups, different sections, that would join randomly, completely randomly. So you would have like your
Let's get these armored legionaries.
merchant type people. The proportion of those people that would actually be willing or able to
As
fight
you command!
is dependent on a few different factors. So for example, if you've got a lot of
Ready and
money,
waiting!
you don't necessarily want, if you do well for yourself, you don't necessarily want to fight. But at the same time, a lot of armies were built up of people who were just those people. They were people who had enough money to have good armor,
Prepare
and enough money to have good weapons. They also had enough money to raise men on their own sometimes, and therefore they would actually bring the people with them. And so it would be better, I think, for a game like that, where there would be certain, like I say, like a percentage of different groups within your town.
This
Obviously,
is
peasants, for example,
chaos. I'm trying to get a
basically given
charge
a choice.
Kinda like gangs type.
on his
Almost,
general.
yeah, it's a little bit like you ever seen what's it called again? Bloody game where you've got like a dynasty, like a
Full
dynasty.
charge back
What
here.
is it called? The game. There's a game that's like a medieval era game where essentially you have like a dynasty, but it's like it's not like a noble dynasty. It's essentially like you start out with
Pin falling back here.
build up your wealth and your influence within the town, until eventually you own the town. It's a little bit like that, like the middle class. You have political sway as well as economic sway. I mean, the political kind of comes along with the economic. So the people that are more economically upwardly mobile tend to be the people who are not necessarily fighting themselves, but rather are actually hiring mercenaries on behalf of the Lord to do the fighting for them. It's a little bit like the substitute system we've got, like in the American Civil War, for example.
Royal
Rich people would essentially pay for other people to fight. Almost a little bit like that. But peasants didn't really have a choice. Peasants, by and large, if they were told to fight, they would have to fight. So different sections, it would be interesting if it was done that way. Different sections that had different obligations to fight. And
Infantry ready!
well, this is the thing. Again, it would have to be made more simple than it would have been in reality. However, if it was essentially like a simple
Because you
version,
you're tying in wealth and assets into it just as much as
it depends who the economics is, really. It would have to be done simply because, like you say, it would be too complicated to keep it completely accurate. Again, this is what I mean. It would be like mostly accurate, but with a little bit of the game design aspect of it put in to make it actually work. So again, peasants generally
You've exposed your Pikes!
are of a certain economic situation. Again, it depends on the they would be more likely, again, like a floating percentage, more likely to be in the army. So your army, you could generally, if you were building an army, want it to consist of this many of them. Let's get that percentage of these people, that percentage of these people. For example, in Manor Lords, I do know that you can actually build essentially your ring, which again is accurate. Lords that obviously build up their own personal retinue of men at arms. They had like the livery of the Lord and dragons. They were trained by the Lord
As you
and
command!
and those people would fight for you because they were professionals. They were people that were trained and they were equipped by the Lord to fight.
Is
Those
this
people,
kind of
it's a given.
I want those horsemen gone.
Armored legionaries out.
Yes, forwards! As you command!
Will there be people underneath that
Charge!
that work for
General!
type thing?
Quickly now!
Or is it
At
like,
your
will
service!
it
Yeah, at
will it
this
just be
point.
just a nobleman that just floats around
How are they still going with 11?
in the game? But
It's that general, baby.
really does one thing, which is it has its own job, but there's nothing else to it.
Yeah, like they were saying in the chat before, it's not like a dinner season, it's whatever. I mean, again, it would depend on how much of a block it is. You know, so like you've got your merchants further down the chain. Basically, I think the easiest way to do it would be that whether or not there were different economic kind of like stations, different classes.
I think that's it.
Is the lower down on the scale you are, the lower down on the scale people are, the more likely they are to be recruited to fight, because that's the way it kind of
That was quite
would
the
be,
battle.
but at the same time, it's not hard and fast, you know. I think it would be good to have a certain amount of choice about who you could pick, but that it would be more believable and it would be more interesting, more of a challenge if you didn't really have a particular like a very direct hold on exactly who was going to be in the army. Rather, it was more kind of like an assemblage of people who were willing, and however you want to do that in game terms, people who were willing and able. You know, again, a floating percentage of different groups of people that would probably be in it.
I saw about 12 purple bodies on the ground. Those Praetorians, when they actually choose to do something, are really fucking strong.
Oh, they're quite good.
Holy shit. I engaged them almost the second the battle started, and they stuck around the entire time.
They will definitely do work. Good fight, brother.
Yeah, really good fight. You almost had me with that cavalry flank. I just saw them in time.
I know.
Those if you had killed the artillery the first time, which I think you killed enough of them that they couldn't use the artillery anymore. But they were still there to provide vision. So if they weren't there, man, you would have just destroyed me with that flank.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going for. I was definitely going for that.
I think the sorry for butting in, guys.
Wrap up our stream there. Cheers.
I think the only way to really make that work is to make it a bit like a dynasty game where everybody's like locked into,
Yeah.
like almost